Okay, the fly we're going to tie next is the tom thumb. It's a caddis imitation pattern. It's a dry fly, so it floats. So we're going to start off with a number 10 dry fly hook. We'll do the pinch thing again. So we'll put the hook into the vise and just get a little squeeze just to get that barb down. So what we'll do first, we'll use black thread. This is a number 6/0 black thread. With tom thumbs, just use black thread. I guess you can also use different colors if you want to make it green or whatever. I don't think it really matters, but the typical standard tom thumb is with black thread. So we'll put a good base down here again, so we tie on the next bit of material, which is the deer hair. It won't spin on the shank. Get a good base layer down there. We'll take some deer hair. Here's the bag anyway, and here's the deer hair. Or if you have a friend that hunts, like I do, you can use some of this stuff.
Yeah.
From last season.
Yeah, blacktail.
Okay, so we'll take a bit of deer hair off like this here, and about a pipe cleaner's diameter of material. And also this is a number 10 hook. You can also tie it at a number 12 or 14 as well. And so the caddis are coming off your lake or stream. So we'll cut the material off at the base. So now we've got a bunch of material here, but the tips are all uneven. So we have something called a deer hair stacker. So we'll put deer hair into the stacker. Give it a couple taps on the table. Now that all the tips are even in the stacker, we'll remove it. And then you can see they're all even at the end here. So we'll pull that out. Okay, we'll lay this on top of the hook. We want a tail to be about half the length of the shank, so we'll measure that out about there. And do a few loose wraps on here. You don't want the material to spin on the shank, so we'll do a couple loose wraps and then you can tighten down. So we'll work ourselves down the hook here, hook shank, to where we want to end it off where the tail starts. And once we get it secure, then we can start tightening down. You don't want this material to spin or splay out. Okay, so cut that top section off here. That's all the excess material. Any loose pieces, cut those off. Now really give it the beans here and tighten it down. As I'm tightening, I'm also pulling on the tail. I want the deer hair to remain on top of the fly. Don't want it spinning around it, so I'm kind of pulling the tail as I'm securing it down with the thread. I want to get a nice base on there because I want the underside to be black. I don't want to have a lot of deer hair showing off the bottom of the fly. And take it back to the head, trim off any excess material. Take about the same amount of material, so about that. Cut that off again. Okay, so what we want to do is make the shell back and the front part of the fly. So we want to double what we did before. So we want the tail, or to come out to about the length of the tail, and double that because we're going to be folding it over the top of the fly. So that, put it about that far there. Same thing as last time. I'm going to secure the materials down, but don't squeeze too hard. You don't want that deer hair to flare up too much yet. And then you can start tightening down. Trim off the excess material at the head here. Then you want to crowd the eye. Good. Now we got it on top here. Now we can start it down a little bit harder. Again, I'm pulling on the tail. I don't want that material to spin around the shank of the fly. Now it's secured in pretty good. I'm going to pull that material we just put on forward, not trying to pull any of the material from the tail. So that's right there. So all that material that we just put on, pull forward. That's going to create the shell back on the fly. I'm going to secure that to the head. Fly. You want to wrap a couple times in front. Then you also want to pull the deer hair back and a few wraps in front of that, because you want that head to ride high. It's supposed to imitate a wing. So see, as I tie it in the front of it, how it pushes it up. Put a few good wraps. Cut off any little excess fibers that are on the bottom. Okay, and pull back again. There. A little excess hair there. Now we can whip finish that fly. Tool. Trap the thread like this. Put the hook in here. Now it's thread's horizontal. Put this pressed against the fly. Wrap it forward a few times.
So you whip
4 times. And pull tight. I like to do it twice just to really make sure it's secure. I don't really put head cement on this one because I don't want to gum up the eye. Such a small eye there. Usually 2 whip finishes is lost. It's not going to fall apart on you anyway. Trim off the thread. Any excess fibers that are... And, there you go. You got your Tom Thumb.
Excellent. Sharp looking fly. Pretty good for your first try.
Yeah.